I'm going to show you allows you to install the tire at room temperature. You can make a jig like this at home. All you need is a 2x4. You need to have some 1/2-inch dowel pins. It's going to be nice if you've got yourself a pair of vice grips and some PVC. We want 1/2-inch PVC and 1/2-inch dowel pins. We're going to drill a hole in our 2x4, and that's going to fit the axis of our saw wheel. Now then, we're going to drill another hole outside of the wheel by where you'll have 1/2-inch clearance between the wheel and the dowel pin. Again, 1/2-inch dowel pin. We're going to attach to that a 1/2-inch piece of PVC, and I'm going to show you now in just a minute how easy it is to do. Now, folks, we do a lot of bend saws here, so we don't really use a 2x4. You can use a 2x4 just fine. What we do is we use, hang on, we use the vise. We've got our hole for the axis already drilled. Now we take our wheel and put it under that. And I said we want to have a 1/2 inch between the dowel pin and our wheel. So we're going to drop this down in there, move it to where it's a 1/2 inch, and lock this in good and tight. Now this is going to work with any size wheel. This wheel here is a 12-inch. Right here's an 18-inch wheel. The only thing we would do with this 18-inch wheel is we move that pin out a 1/2 inch further away. Now I say a 1/2 inch further away, that's if you're not going to be gluing the tire on. If you've got a couple of ridges on your wheel like this right here, that tire is going to ride down in between that. But some tires are flat all the way across, and you may want to glue. This is also a great setup for gluing. Now, first thing you're going to do is you want to pre-relax this urethane just a little bit. And on this little 12-inch machine, I can take and pull it like this, put it around that right there, and just go ahead and give it a good stretch. Put it underneath your foot. Now, you've pre-relaxed it. That's much better than putting it in hot water. You want to take and find your weld, put your weld onto the wheel, and that's where you're going to take that vice grip. Clamp that right into place. Set your tire over the top of that, and then put your PVC in there. Now then, you still have to stretch this on, but it's going to be a lot easier stretching it when you allow that wheel to do the real stretching for you. Just go ahead and keep running around like this, and as you do, make sure you bring your thumb up to keep that into that groove. Think about urethane. I said it doesn't have a good memory. Well, if you just pause here for a moment, it'll be a lot easier to re-stretch it again because the urethane is kind of relaxed again. Now for our final one, bring it right up to there, push that down over here. Folks, that's the easy way to put a set of urethane tires on. Now I'm going to tell you one other thing. Leave that in there. You know, when I stretched it on, I was really stretching it a lot more on that last half. So that section has been what you might say localized stretched. It's going to be stretched a little more. So what we have on here is the ability to take and run that around like this, or you can just do it like this right here. What that's going to do is that's going to equalize the stretch all the way around the tire. Now then, that last thing I want to point out to you that people really dread so much on these here band saws is gluing it on. If you've got your jig set up like we have it right here, you can get yourself some super weather strip adhesive. While you turn your crank, we can take and put a little bit of glue in there, and you just run that all the way around like that. Makes this gluing operation so much easier. And once that's done, go ahead and take that off of there. Now, while it's still wet, let's take and just make sure that it's either in the groove, or if in fact this is on a flat wheel, you want to make sure that it is even with the edges. Go around while it's still wet, and there's your urethane tire